Welcome back to 3 Minutes About Wine. Wine packaging, what we choose, when we choose it, and most importantly, why. So today we are going to talk about wine packaging and why some wines are bottled in glass, while others come in boxes, cans, or even PET bottles. As I mentioned in a previous episode, even before tasting, our brains judge wine visually, including based on its packaging. But packaging isn't just about appearance. It also plays an important role in how wine is stored and protected over time. Glass is the classic and most familiar packaging for wine. It is neutral, does not affect the taste, and provides excellent protection for the contents. That's why glass remains the preferred packaging for wines intended for longer term storage. It's no coincidence that almost all premium wines are bottled in glass, and wine bottles come in some pretty impressive sizes. We have everything from the 187 milliliters Piccolo to the 18 liters Solomon. That's the equivalent of 24 standard bottles. But the bigger the bottle, the heavier it gets. And that brings us to another important question. How do we close the bottle? We have two main options, cork and metal screw cap. Cork is traditional and allows some oxygen transmission over time, which can influence how a wine develops during aging. However, it also has its disadvantages, a subject we will cover in a future episode. The metal closure, known as a screw cap, is modern, highly effective at limiting oxygen transmission, and provides very consistent oxygen management and particularly effective at preserving freshness and reducing bottle to bottle variation. Another very popular type of packaging is bag in a box. The wine is contained in a bag with a top that allows wine to be dispensed while minimizing the entry of air. As a result, the wine can remain fresh for several weeks after opening. It's an excellent solution for everyday consumption, but not for wines intended for long-term storage. PET is lightweight and inexpensive, and depending on its design, it can provide good protection for wines intended for relatively quick consumption. The aluminum can is a modern package that is becoming increasingly popular. It is lightweight, cools quickly, and contains a single serving. It isn't designed for aging, but rather for informal occasions, picnics, the beaches, or events. There are also specialized packaging formats such as Tetra Pak, used for very affordable wines, and kegs, commonly found in restaurants for wine served by the glass. Each type of packaging has a specific purpose. The simple rule is this: glass for protection and long-term storage, bag in a box for freshness and convenience, PET and cans for portability and relatively quick consumption, and kegs for efficient service by the glass. Packaging doesn't make the wine better, but it tells us a lot about how and when the wine should be enjoyed. I'm Julian, and I will see you next time.